People have been wanting me to start, like, making rant videos again on, like, different servers. So, fuck it. I guess I'll just make a rant video of whatever, like, pops into my head when I wake up on certain days. Today's topic is friendship. Okay. Friendship means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Some people see friends as people who hang out with them. Other people see friends as, like, basically family. You know, friendship's pretty subjective, okay? To me, friendship means someone who will, you know, stick by you through thick and thin, who will be there to support you, stuff like that. It's a bit more harsh criteria than what most people have, and that's probably why I don't have, you know, any friends. People like being around me, and I like being around people, but you know, I don't actually have any friends. If I died tomorrow, I'm pretty sure no one would really miss me. They'd just be like, "Oh man, now I can't hear the silly man crack a silly anymore." Yeah, no, that would be very sad for them. Sad moment. Certified. Nowadays, a lot of people, you know, seem to try and relate to the fact that they don't have any friends. When part of the problem is that they have friends, they just pretend they don't for the sake of, you know, clout. And honestly, I think if someone who thinks they're friends with that person sees that, they'll probably be like, "Oh, they don't consider me a friend." And then, you know, tension builds up from there, relationships start to break up, I don't know. A lot of people are more hostile nowadays on the internet than they usually were. You may not think that if you go back like 5 years and just see all the way people talked back then, but it's pretty true. You know, some person makes a funny joke and then people try to crack down on them for that. That happens like basically bi-daily. You quite literally cannot go a day without someone being ass mad over something you said, like whether it was fucking a year ago, 7 years ago, or I don't know, a minute ago. Pretty bad. You can't pretend like people are less aggressive now than they were then, because like back then you had, you know, Leafy and he was like, "Oh my god, look at this kid doing cringe stuff." But now basically everyone's doing that except they're pretending they're not. So oops. Wait, I'm getting off topic. Fuck. Friendship. How do I rant about friendship for more than, like, what, 10 minutes? Friends are a pretty good thing to have. If you have a lot of friends, you're probably not really a happy person because you're pretending. That's another thing about friends. So, alongside people's aggression have gone up people's expectations. People seem to have this golden fucking standard of what other people in their circle should be now. Whether it be, you know, exactly the same as them, mostly the same as them, but are too shy to speak their opinion if it's different from theirs. Shit like that. Nobody wants to have, like, any actual discussions anymore because everyone's too busy trying to suck each other's dicks to actually have a friend. I think that stems from social anxiety because, you know, the previous generation, old mommy and poppy are all like, "Oh my god, you are the smartest, you're the most special in the world, you're so good at everything, even, we're gonna have unrealistic expectations for you, but we're also going to set unrealistic standards for you because, ooga booga, you're the best thing that's ever happened since underwear. So, yeah, a lot of people seem to put themselves in the scenario that, oh, if I'm so perfect, maybe everyone else should be perfect in my circle. And most people may deny that. They're like, "No, I am not an egotistical maniac. In fact, I am the most giving and caring person in the world." I'm doing a default dance, but you can't see it because I'm never going to use my webcam. But a lot of people subconsciously do that. That's kind of the thing now. You see big names, big check marks on Twitter, big people on Reddit, all the big people at the top of the food chain in any given thing. And you look at their friend circle, and what are they like? The exact same humor, sometimes the exact same voice that they put on while they're speaking. It's pretty much borderline the same person, but with maybe a slightly different form of comedy, or a slightly different form of content. But they all do the same shit with each other. They all post those stupid, shitty heart reaction images. They all post those stupid, shitty images of a cartoon or an anime character looking at their phone being like, "That's cringe, bro, cringe, 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 cringe." They all make the same type of content. And I mean, yeah, you know, it's easiest to become friends who are, you know, with the most similar people to you. But the problem with it now is that nobody will try and go out and make friends who are, you know, relatively different for them. Now, I'm not gonna stroke my own dick, but I'm gonna stroke my own dick for a second. I tried to do that, you know. In about the 12 servers that I'm in now, nobody there is like me. And I don't think I've met a person who is remotely similar to me. Because a lot of people fucking hate me. They just put up with me because I'm there, and I keep annoying them, which is kind of funny. I like doing that now. I used to be all like, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I'd have more friends if I do that. But nowadays, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to have any friends anyway, so fuck it. I'm just going to keep doing this. What are they going to do? Ban me? Oh no. I've been banned from a server full of people who don't give a shit about me and people I don't give a shit about. Ooh, I'm so sad. Now I can no longer play my favorite game, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, with them. So, but yeah, I try to do that. Try to make friends with people. It goes well. Sometimes. Like, so back in 2015, I made friends with this one person on a particular website that I will not name because if I name it, I will die. I made friends with this person. We had talks occasionally. You know, we talked about the deeper shit in life. We had fun drawing pictures and all that shit. You know, the only thing I'm good at is art anyway, so that's kind of the only way I'm gonna make friends anymore. We did all that. Eventually, they kind of disappeared. About 2 years into our friendship, they basically dropped off the grid. Because they, I guess, took a break. 2 years later, they came back, and somehow I managed to find them by pure luck. And, you know, I thought I was like, oh, shit, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. I can talk to my old friend again. Man, I'm so happy that, you know, he didn't kill himself. But, a year later, he, no one wants to be friends with me. We're not really friends anymore. I'm still there because, you know, I have people I like talking to in his server, but we ourselves are just not friends anymore. I guess that's just not allowed to be a thing, because, you know, which is fine. People's interests in other people change, you know. But the whole thing that went on is that, you know, I wasn't like the people in his friend group now. His friend group is basically like the exact same person if you just fucking copy paste them over and over again and give them, I don't know, a slightly different taste in games. Ever so slightly. But, yeah. That's happened a lot with me, actually, come to think of it, you know. I joined a server because I liked one person that I meet in another server. We talk, we have it out, and then, like, a year later, we just break off because, you know, I'm not a good enough person to be friends anymore. Because, oh my god, you make edgy jokes. Or, oh my god, you talked about, you know, real life. Or, oh my god, the way you hate pee-pee. You hate pee-pee. Yeah. I hate pee-pee, by the way. Pee-pee's cringe. I'm not talking about Piranha Plant. I love Piranha Plant. Piranha Plant is my baby. It's like my third in command next to King DDD and Gooey from Kirby, the Kirby franchise. But Piranha Plant's epic. I'm not talking about that pee-pee. Oh no, I'm talking about penis. But yeah, lot of weird reasons why I can't have friendship. But the thing about it is, usually it's only one thing. It's one attribute, one singular flaw that I or another person will have. And because of that one singular flaw, oh no, we can't be friends anymore. People aren't willing to accept the fact that other people have different, like, opinions, different feelings, different likes than them anymore. If they aren't, like, fucking one-to-one, you can't be their friend anymore. That's just how it is, apparently. Let me say this. Take a look at your friend group, evaluate their likes, get down how they speak, how they act, all that kind of shit. If you find that your ratio is mostly similar across the board, you know, you may want to open your mind a bit more. I'm not saying, you know, completely break your friendship criteria, because that's a betrayal of self, and that's not what I want. That's not what anyone wants, because betraying yourself is a one-way trip to killing yourself. But, you know, you may want to evaluate the fact that, oh, all my friends are just the exact same person copy-pasted that changed their homework slightly. Can I copy your homework? Oh, make sure you change it slightly. Okay. That. If your friend group is like that, you might have a problem. I don't know. I'm just saying. Me? I don't know. I'm just talking out of my ass. I don't actually have a friend group. Lol. I used to have a friend group back in elementary school. That fell off hard. Well, mostly that was in part to my mom being like, "Oh, you gotta go to a private school now. You gotta go get a better education." Even though private schools and public schools don't have really any difference in education, it's just the way they fucking teach it. But, So then I went to a private school. I tried to keep in touch with all my friends, but they all, dropped off a cliff. I actually know how I lost all my friends too. So, there was a guy named Alex. I called him a piece of shit for breaking one of my controllers, and well, that ended our friendship permanently, because, even he didn't even give me a chance to apologize. He just started ignoring me. I had a friend who was a female. She just started ignoring me out of the blue, like, quite literally. So, every time, it was in the new private school, that's where we were friends, but every time I would say, walk up to her or something, or, like, talk to her parents, because we've been friends for a long time. My parents and her parents have been friends since fucking forever. We've basically known each other since birth. But every time I would try to, speak with her again, she would just ignore me. She would just pretend that I did not exist. If my sisters were there, if my dad or my mom were there, she would talk to them fine. But me, no. That's too far. I don't know what the fuck I did, but I don't know. Maybe that one time that I like made a funny face in the hallway got to her, and thus, I was seen as cringe for the rest of my days. There was another guy. I went to his birthday party. I came to this guy's motherfucking birthday party, even though it was a school night, and I could have been, fucking sleeping, or passing my classes, which I did. But I came to this motherfucker's birthday party, and he was just like, "Oh no, you don't exist anymore." He just fucking ignored me. So I ended up talking to, the adults. That's all I ever really did. I just talked to the adults. I just talked to people's parents and shit like that. I could make a doing your mom joke, but it wasn't even that. It was just that adults were the only people that would listen to me. So that kind of sucks. There was my closest friend. We were friends, well, not friends as long as the girl that I talked about a second ago, but like we were friends since kindergarten. We were like we were blood brothers, dude. It was insane. But all of a sudden, nope, ignored me. I don't exist anymore. That just seems to happen a lot. People just seem to, like, stop pretending I exist, just completely ignore me. And it's still happening now, actually. Every single time I try to get, like, closer with a friend online, they will just suddenly start ignoring me. They won't read my DMs, they won't do anything. I'm starting to think I may actually be dead and that I'm like a fucking ghost, and everyone I try to make friends with is schizophrenic, but That's a bit too high on the conspiracy theory scale. Maybe I should dial that back. I don't know, but it might be true. You never know. I might not even be real, guys. But eventually it gets to you. As a kid going through like puberty and shit like that, you will eventually find that you're easily impressionable, and not having any friends will eventually start to wear down on you. I had one friend total in middle school to crutch on, and I don't know if we're still friends. Really, like really friends anymore, because it's starting to feel like he doesn't want anything to do with me, but I at least had him through middle school, so I had one person to bounce off. and it was nice. We bounced off each other pretty well. We would always have discussions about shit. We would have fun together, yada yada yada, all that good shit. So it was a nice friendship. It didn't end sporadically, it just ended over time. And that was probably one of my better interests. It was a lack of interest. Friendships don't last forever, that's one thing you'll have to know. But a friendship that lasts a while is still pretty good, and eventually you two will just fall out of interest of each other. That's what healthy friendships do. Maybe you'll reconnect later, but if you find new people, if you try to move on, eventually you're gonna drop your old relationship. That's just how shit works. But so that's probably the one friend that I lost due to like normal causes. Like it was just a normal fucking friendship, and it just ended in a decent way. So that's fine. I can't really be mad about that. I have no reason to be mad about that because split of interest. We're just not interested anymore. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too paranoid about things. I have a track record of being paranoid about things. But hey, that's what happens when you lose every single friend you have in 6th grade at once without repair. It's pretty bad for a kid in puberty. It's what a lot of people don't understand. In puberty, kids are very fragile, impressionable. If they don't have anything to like bounce off of, any foils or anything to compare themselves to, they're going to fall apart in their later years, which is what seems to happen a lot. schools nowadays try to teach this thing of, be open-minded, be fresh, but as a result, that makes kids kind of less open-minded. They're less willing to, like, talk to other people, because they feel like the adults are forcing it on them, and that, you know, they have to do it because the adults are good. So no actual genuine friendships are formed. They're just talking because, you know, oh, I'm filling the quota that this random adult that I don't even know much about set for me. This is friendship. So, as a result, one of two things happens. Either A, people never learn what actual genuine friendship is, or B, they just don't make any friends, period. Filling a quota is always a bad thing. It's similar to businesses, but that's not what this is about, and I can't go off topic again, because if I go off topic again, well then, the friendship part of this video will never get done. So, yeah. More or less, it's a lot of things come back to the school system. The school system and puberty do not mix well at all. In fact, they directly fucking ruin each other. Most kids growing up, if they have a bad experience in school, they usually can't do anything about it because the teachers don't care enough to stop it from happening or stop it from ever happening again. They're just like, maybe you should just tell him to stop. And then if you actually fight back, it's like, oh, why would you fight back? Oh my god, you started the fight. You did this. You are the bad person here, not him. You. Yeah. So a lot of kids don't do anything, and that's why a lot of bad things in society to middle-aged to teenage kids happen. Because, you know, once again, they don't have any friends. They don't have any people they can connect to. Friends include things like teachers, adults, all that kind of stuff. You know, you can have a nice relationship with a teacher of yours if they're friendly to you, or, you know, another adult if they're friendly to you. That's not a bad thing. People make it out to be a bad thing because ooga booga, adult interacting with child? Oh my god, it must be the P word. Ooh, I must call the police on them, And that's why most adults are, you know, afraid to make any close-ish relationships with children anymore because they'll immediately be labeled as something they're not. They just want to interact with another human fucking being because we're social creatures at heart. That's what we are. But, you know. And kids, as a result, are also afraid otherwise because, you know, their parents will be superstitious and will be like, oh my god, you can't interact with this adult. They will do bad things to you. Just look at his face. And his face is just like fucking fat black dude. That was my gym teacher. Fucking, he was basically just some fat black guy. But he was hardcore too. He was a good person to bounce off of. He would always encourage you in his own way, which was rather rough, admittedly, but it was probably the best way for some people to get encouraged. You know, he was a good gym teacher. He was a good teacher. He had a partner too. There were two gym teachers. They would usually rotate on who would teach for that day, or maybe they would both teach at once. But they were some of the best teachers I've ever had, like genuinely. And to say that about a gym teacher, not a lot of people say that because, you know, the cliche gym teacher is some fat guy who like eats on the side, doesn't actually do anything himself, but they did shit. They were, you know, if they made us run a marathon like around the school, they would run with us at times too. Of course, they wouldn't go the full way because they have to, you know, check every choke point to see that people aren't like cheating or whatever. But, you know, they would do it too. They would run alongside us. It was nice. And they weren't bad people. No, they were the opposite of bad people. They were just trying to encourage children, which is, you know, what a fucking teacher should do. Not a lot of teachers do that nowadays. I think I got it. Well, no, I didn't get off topic because I'm still talking about adults and friendship. Like, teachers, most teachers don't do it. Teachers do it because it's the one thing they can do. They don't do it out of any sort of passion. Some teachers do it out of passion because, you know, teachers don't get paid a lot in the American school system. They get paid jack shit unless you're a college professor. And college professors don't fucking do anything. They don't even do their jobs. A college professor's job, well, no, they actually do their jobs. Because a college professor's job is to just mediate a test. That's it. They teach the material, they quote-unquote teach the material on the side, but they don't actually have to teach anything. Because everything you learn for your upcoming test will just be in the book. You have no reason to actually teach the student. So, college professors 90% of the time are actual fucking frauds. That's just the thing. And that's the thing we have to deal with because, unfortunately, you know, you have to go through college to get your first job because, you know, name recognition is the only thing that matters in America. But yabba dabba doo, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about friendship, like My Little Pony. Right. So, anyways, back to teachers teachers should just they don't treat they treat kids as a statistic. They don't treat kids as like, actual people they are trying to grow and evolve for society, which is the point of school. You go to every child is required to go to school so that they can gain a baseline education to understand things in the world. Different people have different understandings. Some people fail school, some people pass school. But either way, different people have a baseline understanding of how society works. Some people choose to ignore it, like the commies on Twitter. They're just like, oh my god, we have to take down this small, like, $1 corporation because they are a corporation. That's bad. And they're like selling fucking perfume because people buy perfume and they're selling it at a cheap price. But oh no, they're bad because they're using the capitalistic system to their advantage. Ooh, bad. Some people choose to ignore that baseline understanding, but most people, I'd like to think that the lowest common denominator understands the concept of money, the concept of math, the fact that trees are not made out of cell.
Hello, this is Stereotypes. Fun fact, trees are actually made out of cells. That was a mistake. I was very tired when I made the video. Yeah, trees are made out of cells. I'm dumb. But I'm actually dead. Did you know that only 80% of chocolate is chocolate?
Other shit like that. Baseline understanding, little basic thing. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, baby. Everyone knows that because of the quirky Reddit meme, but it's true. Mitochondria's powerhouse of the cell. Good job. I don't know. I'm not going in for a science degree. I would never go in for a fucking science degree. Holy shit. But a lot of teachers don't really do that anymore. Like I said, they just see kids as a statistic. They see them as, the bigger my class is, the more of a paycheck I get, and that's all that really matters. The more classes I teach, the more of a paycheck. They wear themselves out arbitrarily as a self-sabotaging exercise to make sure that every kid feels their pain too. A lot of teachers seem to go out of their way to be like, oh, my life was so dramatic today, oh my god, and it's like, okay, cool. On one hand, I get it. They want to form a human connection. Maybe that's their way of forming a human connection, explaining their, misfortune. But at the same time, it's like, you're there to teach. You're there to help a student. If connecting with the student that you help out or connecting with your class as a whole comes later, that's fine. Like say you're doing something boring and then you just tell the class a story and then the class interacts. You have to make it entertaining, of course, because, kids have the fucking... kids have the attention span of a fucking bat, but, You can connect to kids later, but your primary job is to teach. If teaching comes into helping a kid, forming a connection with them, being sort of like a father or maternal figure to them, then that's fine, you can do that. But you're there to teach the fucking subject. You're not there to be like, fucking there was a backup on 66 today. Do you guys relate to the backup on 66, you fucking 8-year-old who doesn't know what driving is yet? It's like, nobody gives a shit about the fact that you had to wait in a fucking Starbucks line for 30 minutes. No. Teach the goddamn subject. Maybe take a break in between so that people can understand and ask questions if they need to. And then teach the goddamn subject again. That's all you have to do. That's your job. People are like, fucking jobs are so hard to do sometimes. We're all people. Sometimes people don't want to do their jobs. Then why would you take that job? Take a fucking easier job. If it's your passion, you can't have that excuse because you're passionate about it. You're just not doing your fucking job. But that's enough about teachers. If I talk more about teachers, I will, get inevitably mad about the fact that I have had maybe one good math teacher in my life and I'm not naming them. Well, it doesn't actually matter. None of my math teachers even know I exist anymore anyway, so who cares? Fucking math teachers suck. Whatever. Anyways, back to the rant. Actually, no. Fuck the rant. Hold on. So, I ate like an omelet today, right? I put some fucking mushrooms in there. I put some fucking spinach in there. Spinach. Okay, spinach sucks most of the time, but an omelet it kind of works well because the cheese sort of baselines out its flavor. It sits on top. It sits below the lettuce. It wraps the lettuce around in something that makes it taste less like lettuce and more like an extension of the cheese. And that's like that. And omelet is the only time I'm gonna ever use spinach. But oh wait, I'm supposed to be talking about human connection. Oh no, this fucking omelet. Wait, no, I can recover this. I can make a you know what I mean. So with cheese and the spinach, the cheese helps the spinach become a good food, and that's like a beneficial relationship. I don't remember the science term for that. They benefit each other. As a result, they both get eaten, and that's what really matters when your food getting eaten instead of getting thrown away. So, because of this, that's what friends should be like. Friends should be, wrapping the person that they're friends with in a cheesy goodness and making them a better person as a result. And then their flavors will both benefit from each other. It's like the movie Ratatouille. Remember when Remy ate like a piece of cheese and then he ate a strawberry and then he ate them both together and he was like, oh, the colors. Then he had like a fucking seizure or whatever. That's what friendship should be like. Friendship should be a beneficial relationship, not a toxic relationship. I'm going to talk about women now. Women friendships are fucking fake as shit. I don't know how women live at all. They are fucking weird. Like friendship to them is meeting up with a woman that they can fucking bounce compliments off of, and then immediately shit talk to the next woman they see like a few minutes later. I know, not all women, but like, it's a stereotype for a reason. I'm not gonna pretend. I'm not gonna be like these other people who are like, stereotyping is bad. No. Why do you think the stereotype exists? Maybe it's because people act like that a lot. So, unfortunately, if you don't have a friendship like that, well then that's fine. You're above the common denominator. Good job. You're relatively smarter than like a fucking middle schooler, I guess. But that's what most women friendships are like. An unnamed woman that I know a lot about for some reason. Ooh, maybe it's a personal connection or a biological one. She tries to make friends wherever she goes. She's probably the most extroverted person I know. That's because she comes from like a different fucking generation. So, but like, she tries to make friendships wherever they go, and usually they end in burning failures because the other woman or her find a flaw in the way they think. They dig that flaw, they subconsciously process that flaw without fail, and then all of a sudden that becomes like the big thing about that other person. And every other trait's thrown out the window. No, it's that fucking flaw that will always be sticking out in the person. You like see it sticking out of their head, like a lump in Looney Tunes, and then it just keeps going. They just keep thinking about it, and eventually they're like, yeah, I don't want to be friends with you anymore because you had that one flaw. And the thing is, that's what most friendships are like nowadays. I'm not about to call every male in society that they think like a woman, but if you end your friendships because your friends have one like glaring flaw, that's not a good thing. If they're like, yeah, we should fucking do genocide, then maybe, just maybe that's a bad thing. But if it's obviously a fucking joke, you shouldn't break up a friendship because a friend likes genocide jokes. That's just retarded. You're retarded if you think that's okay. People have different tastes. Fun fact. Jokes are not bad. You'll be like, but a joke can actually harm a person in real life. Oh, maybe that's why stereotypes exist. Because stereotypes are jokes. Stereotypes doesn't mean you have to be that person. A stereotype is something that people act like because it's a common thing that people seem to follow like the fucking sheep they are. If someone calls a rapper that they're like, a flat black guy who says the N-word every 10 seconds, that's a stereotype. Not all rappers do that. I'm not about to say it. A lot of rappers don't because, a lot of rappers do. That's why it's a stereotype. But, some rappers don't do that. They don't feel the need to do that. A lot of rappers do. That's why it's a stereotype. Because a lot of rappers spout the N-word every 5 seconds, and then they call that, a work of fucking art. You can get mad at me if you want. If it's not true, you are free to prove me wrong if that statement is not true. But I don't think you can. Why? Because it's true. So that's how stereotypes are used. That's a stereotype. I'm sorry. Cry about it all you want. That's what it is. Stereotypes inherently are jokes. but it's also a case of life imitating art. Well, I'm not going to say a stereotype is art, but, you know, for the sake of the argument, let's say comedy is to art. Stereotypes have existed long before, but a lot of people follow the stereotypes. This either may be because of marketability, because they're more recognizable. People like to put themselves out on Twitter nowadays, and if you follow a stereotype, a lot more people will be guaranteed to be attracted to you than if you were, like, actually a unique fucking person. So, unfortunately, following a stereotype has its benefits, and a lot of people end up doing that, which is why a lot of people on Twitter are fucking stupid. Because they're all stereotypes. Hell, a lot of people in general on the internet do that. And this is the part where I transition into my discussion about masks. And I'm not talking about Persona 5, the Persona Joker. Looking cool, Joker. No, I'm talking about masks. Different identities people put on to make themselves, quote-unquote, more appealing. I do it too, so I'm not going to pretend like, you know, I'm free from this. But that's why I get to talk about it, because I do it too. I have an issue. But, you know, everyone who has a mask technically has an issue. I'm not, you know. Masks serve their purpose. That's what I'm going to say. Everyone has a mask for a reason, whether it be to make themselves more appealing to friends, whether it be to make themselves more appealing to other people. Everyone has different masks for different things, and they can't take that mask off, because the second they do, the second they reveal that they're a true person, they are unconfident that the people remain friends with them. That goes back to, you know, people having very, very harsh criteria of what a friend should be while pretending they don't. But, you know, I have harsh criteria of what a friend should be, but I don't pretend that I'm like, oh, anyone can be my friend, because I'm not a fucking hypocrite. Unless it's for comedy's sake, then I'm a hypocrite. But anyways, masks. So, people put on different personalities. The real person is hiding somewhere in there, and sometimes people let it slip out. Sometimes people let it slip out as a game. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I like to see how many people can figure out what I'm truly like before I can decide if they're my friend. A lot of people don't do that. So, yeah, the comedy mask stays on. Too bad. You know, but a lot of people do it as a defense mechanism. People are like, oh, you know, they won't like the true me, which in most cases is true. And then the problem really becomes a problem when you realize that the person that they're wearing a mask to become friends with are also wearing a mask. It becomes an overlap. And that's why a lot of people don't feel their friendships are real, because technically they aren't. They're only friends with their masks. It's a fake versus fake relationship. A lot of people just aren't real with each other. Some people are, and that's good. I'm happy for them, even if they're, you know, soaking up their own hypocrisy. But that's their real personality, and if they have friends with their real personality, that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. But that's why you see a lot of people relating to the fact that they don't have any friends, because they technically don't. Their mask has friends. Their fake personality has friends. Thus becomes an identity crisis, and then, you know, it just spirals downhill from there. Yabba dabba doo, imposter syndrome, like Among Us. But imposter syndrome. Yeah. The bigger you get, the more technical friends you have, which I guess you can see your followers as friends if you do. I don't fucking know. You can't see it that way. The more friends you have, the more likely you are to fall into an imposter syndrome if you use a mask. Because you, personally, don't believe that people want to see your true personality. That's the thing. Some people are true to themselves. You know, they'll face disappointment head on. If they lose a friend, they'll feel bad about it. But if they gain a friend, they'll feel really happy about it. And that's because they're real to themselves. They don't wear a mask. They feel the true pinnacle of joy and sadness when bad things happen to them. When you wear a mask, you can just brush it off as, oh, they didn't like that personality, haha, what a bunch of fucking losers. And then if you gain a friend, they're like, oh, they like this personality, I guess I'll keep doing this. It feeds into your system, your, you know, brain chemicals, your brain soup that makes you think, oh yeah, this is a good thing to do. When technically it's not. I mean, hey, you can keep doing it if it works. I mean, fucking, if it works, it works. Don't fix what ain't broke, baby. Don't fix what ain't broke, baby. But, you know, people aren't real. Well, the takeaway from this is that people aren't real. They're fake. There are no real people in your society. Now you shall have an emotional breakdown because you realize all of your friends are wearing a fake persona. Just to be friends with you. Just like the system in Persona. Oh, baby. You know, we can relate that to Persona. I'm going to talk about Persona. No, I've never played Persona 5. I'm never going to play Persona 5 because I'm not buying a fucking PlayStation ever again. But, you know, Joker from Persona 5 has to, you know, go around and do a bunch of social tasks, and he has to change who he is innately. You know, he has to get more buff by working out at the gym, he has to get smarter, he has to gain a more appealing personality. You can choose from responses that are either true to yourself, or the most optimal to grow a social link. As while playing as Joker, you have to change who you are to make the most out of your friendships. And I know that's not the intent of the game. That's just, you know, forming social links, appealing to people's egos. But at the same time, you can technically use that as a metaphor for society. Society. That's why he's called Joker. Society, baby. No. You can technically view that as a metaphor for real life. You can't be true to yourself if you want to get friends. You have to change yourself. You have to be the most appealing as humanly possible to obtain a friend. Because if the second you reveal your true self, it's inevitable disappointment. That's what Persona tells me. I've never played Persona 5, so I'm just talking out of my ass, realistically. But but I mean, am I wrong? Hey, like, think about it in real life. You will have people tell you, oh, you know, get fitter, get stuff. And before I go on this tirade, no, this isn't a certified body positivity moment. I think if you're fat, yes, you should lose weight so that you know, can live. If you don't want to live, then by all means do what you want. It's your body. But if you want to live longer, I suggest dropping a few pounds. Just saying. But anyways, back to what I was saying. You, in society, have to change yourself to become the pinnacle. That is our animalistic instinct. We are still animals. And as animals, we want the partner who's most appealing. For guys, that just comes in the form of, oh, big booba, big Buddha, and comedy. That's why we have sex with women. But women are like, he must be protective, he must be caring, he must be buff, but not too buff, because if he's too buff, then he'll break me in bed. But he has to be 6 foot tall, but not 6'1", because then he's too tall, but also not 5'11", because then he's too short. He has to be exactly 6 feet, but he also has to have brown hair, not black hair, and he can't dye his hair. No, because dyeing your hair is gay, but he has to have brown hair, and he has to have blue eyes, he has to have big eyes, and he has to be a white person. Yeah, women are fucking insane when it comes to, you know, qualifications. And that's just how it is. That's just how we evolved. We are animals. We are monkey. Monkey find most appealing partner, and monkey have sex with partner. That's how monkey work. We are just monkey, but we think harder. Sometimes. But the reason you won't have as many friends if you weren't as, you know, up to the human standard as possible is because, well, it's the human standard for a reason. You're gonna make more friends if you're, you know, buff, if you're jacked, if you're a friendly person, if you're, you know, not stinky, if you have the most appealing look. People only care about what's outside. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. No, if your outside looks like shit, people will not fucking care what you are on the inside, because people will not approach you to know what you are on the inside. The whole Disney thing of, oh, it's the internal beauty that counts, not the external beauty. That's fucking bullshit. That is genuine bullshit, and the fact that they actually teach that to people makes me sad. Because then people like me are created. People who believe that, oh, if you have a nice enough personality, you'll get anywhere in life. No, the fuck you won't. You won't. You will become an incel if you actually believe that. That's true. I'm sorry. I'm just saying it how it is. You are on the path to inceldom if you believe for a single fucking second that people will care what you are inside as opposed to outside. And that applies to the internet too. People don't have to see who you are on the internet, but people will see you through your text, through the images you post, through things like that. The outside still matters more than the inside. Getting real with people at any point in time is a one-way fucking trip to suicide. And I mean, people are, you know, positive towards mental health nowadays. People are like, oh my god, we have to look at people's mental health, otherwise a big tragedy will happen. That's fucking bullshit too. You can call me fucking paranoid all you want. No, it's horseshit. Because if people actually cared about mental health, we wouldn't have a beauty standard now, would we? And I'm not saying a beauty standard's a bad thing. Oh no, in fact, quite the opposite. Having a beauty standard's a good thing because it sets a baseline for what you should be and what you shouldn't be. You can be in the middle and maybe you'll find success in the middle. You probably won't because of society moment number 24, but you might. You never know. If you get lucky enough. Life's just a game of luck after all. It's not really a game of skill anymore. If you're lucky enough, if you're born the right way, congratulations, you win the lottery. Fucking genetic lottery. People try to improve themselves. That's why, suicide rates are up. They try to make themselves as unrealistic as possible, and in the process of doing that, they lose themselves. And as such, they don't feel like living anymore, because why live when you aren't yourself? You're someone completely different. Teaching people the message that being yourself is okay is simultaneously a good and a bad thing, because you can't be yourself if you're trying to reach the pinnacle of society. If you're born with peak genetics, then congratulations, you can be yourself, because guess what? You're the best type of person there can possibly ever be. Natural selection never went away. Time to bounce to a completely different subject. Natural selection never really went away. You have to be born good to succeed. You can't obtain it because people won't give you the chance to obtain it. Giving people fair opportunity is fake, because to do that, they have to simultaneously devalue you to make you up to their standard. You can improve, that is true. With hard work and determination, you can become possibly somewhere near the pinnacle of society. If you don't have the genetics, well then, you're shit out of luck, because body transformation therapy hasn't really gotten that high yet. But you can get there, you can get very close to there, and you may even succeed. And if you do, well then, congratulations, you've made it to the top of the societal totem pole, while simultaneously losing your true self at the same time. This is inherently negative, but that's because I'm talking about real life, and real life sucks dick. Living life sucks dick. There's no upside to being alive, unfortunately, so I'm just being realistic. And realism kinda sucks. That's why people play video games to be escapists, but no, video games have to tell realistic stories now to be super good, and we can't lace it in any sort of subtlety. No, we literally have to have a story about a girl being depressed because her fucking father died. Every time. Without fail. Isn't that fun? I don't like diversity in the sort of media that comes out anyways neither. No. We have to have yet another story about a quirky kid who doesn't fit into the place they are, but then they find a group where they fit in, and then they realize they have an emotional breakdown because, oh my god, I don't fit into my old society. And they're like, don't worry, you fit in here with us. And then the show fucking ends. It's every goddamn show nowadays, and it's fucking annoying. Because you don't teach a kid that. I mean, you can. Actually, no. Let me put it this way. Technically, by technicality, that is a very good lesson. You have to find the people you belong with and stay with those people. While that technically promotes segregation on the moral level, it's realistic. You can't hang out with the buff guys as a fat dude, because unless you're going there to self-improve, you're just going to be the laughing stock. You're going to be the outcast. Just like, I just had a stroke. Hold on, give me a second. I'm rebooting my brain smarts. Okay, I've rebooted my brain. All right. Little groups, little segregated groups on different corners of society. They exist because guess what? You can only fit into the group you were born to fit in. You can't really outrun your fate, your destiny. If you were born a certain way, if that's how genetics wanted you to be written, well, too bad. You can't really get rid of that. You can't escape that. So, technically, by technicality, it's a good lesson. There will always be a group that's available for you, and you should find that group as fast as possible, because that's the only place you'll truly ever fit in. While society promotes acceptance and stuff like that, fun fact, it's all fake. They're not going to accept you. The most accepting seeming people on the planet are only doing it for brownie points. They're not going to do it because they will actually accept you, a person like you, the person they claim to accept. Oh no, they're full of shit. Acceptance is not real unless it is your own group that you are trying to find, the group you were meant to be born into. You do not simply go up the societal totem pole unless you, again, completely change who you are. That's it. We're still animals. Unless you reach the pinnacle or the bottom of society, you're not changing who you are by being yourself. You will have to change yourself, evolve yourself. in some circumstances, that involves, slightly evolving who you are as a person. So people can remain themselves while they go up the totem pole of society. But most of the time, no. Being yourself is a one-way trip to, loneliness, not having any friends. So you're going to have to change yourself. That's just how it is. Either change the expectation of who you are as a person, or completely remove yourself from the equation and make a new personality. By making a new personality, you'll meet more people, you'll make more friends. That's how it is. People are not inherently going to accept you for who you are. They're going to accept you for what you appear to be. And opening up to a person about that kind of stuff won't work. But why do you think divorce rates are higher than they've ever fucking been? Because when people actually show them true selves, most of the time people rely back on their animalistic instincts instead of their love for that person. And instead of accepting the person who they truly are, they will instead label you as a liar and then get rid of you. Because they can just find someone else. There's 7 million people in the country, after all. There's bound to be another guy out there who looks exactly like you, but has a better personality and won't admit to their, flaws and shit. That's how it is. You can't do anything about it. That's what happens when you're in a big man country. Ooga booga. Monkey. I like saying the word monkey. Monkey makes me happy. You go back to monkey. You know why the monkey meme is so popular? Because it's true. We are no better than apes who have a slightly more evolved brain. That is what we are. We are just apes. Advanced apes. We act the exact same as them. We think the exact same as them. We use tools. Apes use tools, both for the sake of convenience. We have a similar thought process, but we're slightly above apes because we know how to use the elements. Apes don't really know how to use the elements. They know how to use, sticks and shit, rocks, fucking make special calls for people. A lot of animals do that, but apes, monkeys, primates particularly are the pinnacle of that in the animal kingdom, and we are the pinnacle of the animal kingdom. in a way, we're not physically the best because if we go into the ocean, literally anything in the water can fucking slap us and we'll die. But we are the pinnacle of the thought parts of the animal kingdom. We have the biggest brain. That's just how it is. Or excuse me, the most complex brain. Well, even then, not really true because elephants are technically smarter than us, but. Not really. It's weird. The animal kingdom's fucking weird. I don't care. All right. But the reason people relate to the monkey, the donkey, the monkey meme so much is because that's who we are. Meme culture is admittedly more masculine than it is feminine because women aren't funny. The fucking Joker clip. Women aren't funny. But it's meme culture in general is a bit more masculine than it is feminine. The funnier memes come from the male side, and lefty memes, the big fucking paragraph ones, they come from the female side. I'm sorry. I'm just saying it how it is. I'm just saying what the algorithm prefers, dude. But yeah. Guys like monkeys. We are monkeys. We do things that impress female. We have sex with female, and then we eat food, and then have a good time with the bros. That's it. That is guys, at their basic level. You can melt guys down to monkeys, and there's not a lot of difference. Females, you can do a lot of things with that side. Technically, they're more complex than males. By technicality, they are the more important gender because they give birth, they repopulate our society, and they have a more complex brain that does more things than guy brain does. That might be more rooted in, like growing up society tendencies, but at the same time it's kind of like not really. Guys at their baseline are just less complex because we find more things enjoyable, we find more things to do. We have to worry about a lot less. Because as guys, we don't have as many, differing bodily functions going on. We don't have as many hormones and, bodily productants going on. We don't produce pheromones. I mean, we might produce pheromones. I don't fucking... Do humans produce pheromones? I'm going to look that up. Hold on. Do humans produce pheromones? Let's see. Oh, wait. I'm not on the internet. Hold on. I gotta connect to my internet. Surfshark VPN. Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't have a sponsor. Literally 0 sponsors. I have 443 subscribers. You think I have a fucking sponsor? Dumbass. Alright. Let's see. Pheromones are substances which are secreted to the outside by an individual, received by a second individual of the same species. Okay, play the role. Human remains uncertain since adults have no functioning... Okay, so we can't prove that we have pheromones, according to good old Google, the best information source on the planet. So I don't know if we have pheromones. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. You never know. Yeah, that's human connection. That's friendship. That's the rant. I feel like I should say more, but I don't know if I want to say more. I mean, I've kind of said all that needs to be said. Being true to yourself isn't real. Having to wear a mask is real. That's how it is. Maybe that's why we find, like, mask designs the most interesting, because we have to wear the masks, you know. Characters like Lamb from League of Legends, Joker from Persona 5, they all wear, like, cool-ass masks, and we're like, oh, man, this mask is so cool. I would love to have that mask. You know. That's why role-playing games are so popular. You ever think about that? Role-playing games are so popular because you get to play the role of someone you're not. You get to not be yourself. Or you get to be yourself and see how that has an effect on the world. A lot of role-playing games fall short of that nowadays because choices aren't real in video games anymore. But in games where your choices actually matter, like the Stanley Parable, for example, that's technically a role-playing game, and you can do what you feel you should do at that moment. People use it for completion's sake and, you know, get all the different endings, but playing it at its core, you just play as the person you are, or play as the person you pretend yourself to be, and you have fun doing that because you get to explore around the weird fucking ever-changing office by just being yourself and testing different aspects of yourself. That's why role-playing games are some of the most popular games on the market. That's why Pokemon is so popular. In Pokemon, you are just yourself, but you get to build a team based around yourself. Your personal aspects, your likes, your goals, your aspirations, you get to build a team around that. And then you get to, you know, climb to the top of society. You get to be the pinnacle of your own story. And that's what most people want. People want to be the main character, the pinnacle of the world. They want to be on top. Because by doing that, they prove themselves to be the top of the standard, the top of the totem pole. What the peak human should be. Maybe that's why people like Pokemon so much. I don't think that's true. I think I'm just talking out of my ass, but like, I can see it. And this is the first time I've thought about it, but maybe that's it. In RPGs, the same thing. You topple the biggest bad of the world. You can pretend. Usually RPGs back then just had like a basic-ish bad guy. You could apply whatever you want as the bad guy and then apply yourself as the good guy. And by that extent, you can topple any bad part of your life that you choose. Because you're the main character. You're the hero of that story. That's why self-insert stories are the most popular things ever. Shit like isekais, it's because you, a fucking basically societal nobody, get transported to a world that completely fulfills any desire you have. Some people write more dramatic things of that, but it's still them. They're still the main character. It's a self-insert story at its peak. That's all isekai is, and people relate to that. As such, people find isekais enjoyable. No Game, No Life is my favorite anime of all time, and by technicality, that's an isekai. Now, I'm not going to pretend like I'm the smartest man on earth, because I'm not. I'm only smart sometimes. 40% of the time is when I'm smart. Other times, I'm just a fucking dumbass. But when I'm smart, I'm really smart. When I'm smart, I'm super smart. I know what I'm talking about. I'm the smartest man alive. I can play chess at a high level. Woo! Entertaining. No Game, No Life is still my favorite anime of all time. That's not likely to change anytime soon because it's a self-insert story. I can pretend I'm that guy. I'm Sora. I'm the smart guy who has, you know, pretty girls surrounding him at all turns, not counting the sister because, you know, that's incest. And incest is pretty bad. Don't do incest, guys. You might end up like the British royal family. You might end up like the Queen of England. Yeah. That's humanity. Friendship. Friendship is not magic. Friendship is actually bad. No! Friendship is a real thing. I'm gonna scratch my microphone for dramatic effect like I'm scratching the cat. Yeah, I guess that's it. That's the rant. You wanted this. This is what you get. I don't know what gameplay footage I should put over this. Maybe I'll do like I'm thinking like Monster Hunter Rise, because Rise would be cool. Yeah. But I'm pretty bad at it, and people will probably be like, "Oh, your gameplay sucks." And it's like, yeah, cool. You don't have to watch the gameplay. You can just have this on the background and listen to the ramblings of an insane man, of a minorly inconvenienced man one too many times. People will probably think I'm just talking out of my ass. I don't know. Why am I still recording this? What the fuck? Emotion. Oof. Pity party. Yeah! So basically, the takeaway of this rant is that if you want more friends, don't be yourself. Or do, because maybe yourself will have a group that you'll find someday. Ah, fucking no. Society's dumb. You know what? Fuck it. Fucking stupid ass humans. I hate humans. You know what? No. You know what? No. You know what? No. I hate humanity. I'm gonna become like when I grow up, I'm gonna become the main villain. I'm gonna become like the super duper evil guy. Kim Jong-un? No. I'm gonna become the evilest man on earth. That's right. I'm going to take over the world, and I'm gonna make everyone my slaves. And then I will rise up the hero, and then a hero will rise up and he'll take me down, and he'll be like, "Oh, you're not gonna enslave the human race anymore." I'm like, "Oh yeah, try me." And then we have an epic battle, and then we fight in a different dimension, and he killed me. And he's like, "Oh, you killed me." And then the hero stops. And he's like, "Why have you done all this?" He's like, "Because when I was a kid, I had no friends." And then the hero's gonna be like, "Oh my god, that's so relatable. I'm gonna write a story about that." And that's gonna be my super duper tale. Because fun fact, the meaning of life is the impressions you set on other people. What you do in life does not matter unless it helps society, and that's why life is pointless, guys. Thanks for watching. This is Salty Piplup signing out.